let me tell you. Okay. So, after goal setting, the next on the agenda is planning. So, really turning your goals into a reality. Each of you have filled out what your goals are, and maybe what that means is what title you want to become. Maybe it means you also said you want to, add $200 a campaign to your sales, whatever your specific goal is. So now that you have them and you know what a SMART goal is, let's take the next step and make those goals a reality. So with a good plan, you will be sure to do the right stuff with the time that you dedicate to your Avon business. So here's the agenda. Planning. We're going to talk about the O in BOSS, which is outreach. We're going to talk about planning to grow your team, planning your Avon time, plan the right balance of activities, prioritizing and gaining control of your business, and plan to take action with a 2-week calendar. So, like I said, the module is about the O in BOSS, which stands for outreach. So part of the plan will include your outreach, which would be, who do I need to know to achieve my goals, number one, and what do I need to do to meet new people? So those are the 2 things we're really going to talk about to help you focus on your outreach. And so let's begin by talking about how you can plan to grow your team. I know many of you want to grow your team, and that was part of what your goals were that you set last week. So this is a really good training. So we can grow our teams in 2 different ways. Number one, we can recruit new representatives to join Avon. And I know all of you are focusing on that. And number 2, we can help some of our current representatives achieve a leader title. So what we need to do is we need to start discussing how we can find people to join Avon. You guys are seriously the experts. You know of the ways to encourage people to join, but we're going to talk about more of them and just kind of break it down a little bit. So what are some of the best ways that you've already found that help you meet people? I know that, Jean, you just had some events, right?
I just added 2 more on.
You did? Great.
Yeah.
Great. So events.
One of them is going to be at a Ford Motor Company.
Wow, that'll be big.
Yeah, they're doing a fundraiser for Toys for Tots.
Cool.
I know it's in Dearborn, and she just sent me over the application today, and so I have one scheduled now for December 1st and 2nd at night, December 5th during the day, which is a Tuesday, and December 9th on a Saturday. So one's at school. So, and another one's going to be where it's going to be that I mentioned to you before, the little train park where they're going to have a lot of activity of parents bringing the kids to the train to go through the park. Now, we just have to hope they're inside. And yes, I did do an event this past weekend. Unfortunately, I really like the place, and it's a church, and I did it last year. And they asked us if you have any suggestions for changes. You know, people could put things on for a church. The church is going to make the money for whatever they're doing it for at the church, you know, whether, let's say, it's for helping the needy, whatever they want to do it for. But unfortunately, they're making the money off the tables, but they need to get a buy-in from everybody at the church saying, okay, we want these vendors to come back, and the way we're going to get them coming is to have shoppers, people that come there. It was Saturday, and it poured rain. Now, whether that was what affected it, too, because maybe people didn't want to come out, but I had some people come through, you know, and you meet some different people there that are selling stuff, too, which you know, interact and talk to them, too. But as far as I usually will get repeat customers or customers that come there saying I was looking for somebody Avon, I sold $41 on my table basically, and did meet just a few people, and I'll always usually have a drawing box for people to get in, for leads to follow up with. So
Good.
that one was not real good.
Well, hopefully you're able to share some feedback with whoever planned it. Sometimes the planners aren't great marketers. They might be able to plan an event, but they don't know how to market it to get it out to the community. And so that might be, if you do have a chance to give feedback, say, here are some ideas that I know that have helped me market different events or something, because, yeah, that's a lot of work for, not a lot of payback. But I'm glad to hear that you have more events on your calendar that hopefully can make up for that. But
and by the way, I did get a repeat customer from Halloween night.
Oh, great.
Not a repeat customer, a new customer.
New customer.
Awesome. From Halloween, from your...
Passing out books, and I always ask people, where did you get the book I wrote her from? And she said Halloween.
Oh, very cool.
That was good.
Good for you. Well, I hope you get some more, but it's always nice to, find out where they came from. So some of your hard work paid off. So any other ideas on how you can meet new people or recruit new people? Anybody have anything else they're doing or have done in the past that really helped you add a person to your team?
Well, this is Patty. I'm going to have my open house, kind of like customer appreciation, and ask people to bring someone with them when they come. One this week, one next week. At least, maybe if they bring someone with them, then they can, show me a new face, and we can work on getting a new individual into the Avon ranks.
Awesome. Very good. Somebody else, I like that. Somebody else on our last class, she shared that something that she would do once a week. There was like 3 or 4 different McDonald's in her area. She said she would just take an Avon basket with some brochures and go sit in the play zone and, see all the moms and the kids. And she said for her, it was just a really easy way, and she felt comfortable. So that was her way to meet new people and get her brochures out there. And she always felt like moms were interested more so in maybe becoming representatives. So that was an idea that her name's Judy Mashing, said that she likes to do. And someone else mentioned Facebook. Going out on Facebook and trying to meet new people that way. There's so many community pages on Facebook. Like I'm part of the Grand Ledge community, Potterville, Portland, and you can go on and they'll show up on your feed, and you'll see people saying, looking for a job. These are my qualifications. I'm actually surprised how many people do that on the community pages. And they get so many responses from the community, like, oh, I know a place that's hiring, or, I like what you have to say here. I'm looking for a child care provider. Would love to meet you. So that was something that someone else mentioned, and I thought, man, I am on so many different community pages and I have seen that. I should really take advantage of that. So let's see. Any other ideas to help you find people to join your team?
I was going to say that this is Nicole. I was going to say that I have to. I'm going to be doing a Christmas party vending at the senior citizen building, and they're expecting over 100 people because they're going to be feeding them really good food. I understand, and that's one way I can advertise, because I can put up my poster board saying I'm looking for new team members, and if you fill out this form, your name can go into a drawing if you join my team.
Awesome. That sounds like a really cool event. You have a lot of cool events over by you, and things that you're a part of. Oh, hey, I just can see all your faces now. Hey, Karen. Hey, Nicole.
Hi, everyone.
Okay, so I'm moving on. Let's move on to the next slide. Good. Thank you for sharing your ideas on how you can have your outreach and find new potential representatives for your team. So in order to find your next team members, you need to talk to the people you already know, which we call them the warm market, don't we? So in addition, it's important to find new opportunities to connect with new people. Does anybody feel like they're in a dry spell, when it comes to being a part of community events or trying to get out there and talk to your, people about Avon? What we're trying to say is it's important to start finding new outlets and new groups that you can be a part of. And every interaction is an opportunity to grow your team. It really is. We need to plan prospecting activities in order to ensure that we continue to make new connections. And when I've been on my one-on-ones with each of you, you all seem to have something planned on your calendar for the holidays. Some of you have more than others, and but the goal from each event or each thing you participate in really is to connect with the new people and engage them in becoming representatives. So what prospecting activities can you plan to make sure you're meeting new people? Look back at things that worked in the past. Maybe you have events that you did 2 years ago and thought, maybe I should get back into that event. And then keep repeating it. Keep doing it over and over if it has been success. Maybe reflect on the ones that really haven't been. So maybe next year Jean's going to go, I don't really think I'm going to do that bazaar at the church. There's like 2 people that walked through. So that might be something where you say, I'm just not going to do that, and stick to what works. Pursuing your top customers, they already have value with Avon products. They already see the value in them. And I know we've talked, a lot of us, about, talking to your top sellers on your team and saying, hey, you know how close you are to making more money? All you have to do is recruit 3 to 5 people. And because your sales are so high, you'd become a bronze ambassador in a heartbeat. And you would get the, $500 bonus because you're a new bronze ambassador. And really, it makes it easier when you're talking to one of your top customers. So leverage your personal network, family, friends, people you know. Raise your hand if you've done that already.
Yes.
Yeah, that one's maybe for somebody who's brand new into leadership. Get involved in your community. We talked about that. We all know that's really a huge piece of any business you're a part of. Attending community events, job fairs, conduct fundraisers. Anybody have any fundraisers in the mix? I know, Jean, you're going to go to Ford and you're going to help with their fundraiser for Toys for Tots, right?
Yes. But I have a question, and I'm sure it'll be good for everybody.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but maybe in the future.
Right. That I could either get feedback from everybody, or we all would like to know the answer to is I have set up with my daughter before at mom-to-mom sales. Well, this one in particular is at a school, and they literally draw every year at least probably 1,000 people going to their shopping because they know it's such a huge one. It's at a junior high school, and every hallway is, people set up for the mom-to-mom. And what I'll do sometimes is connect my table to hers with Avon, and I want to, but sometimes these moms like are on a mission and they're flying through, right? But then I thought, let's take it a step further and say, if all these moms are here selling, they're wanting to make money. So I really don't know because it's done quickly, as you would know, and not having time to stand there and necessarily talk to everybody. What is a way to approach a lot of the first of all, a lot of the moms that are selling all through the whole vendor thing, they might have 100 tables set up throughout this place. A approach them for one, and also I set up a basket and say, get into my drawing, or even have suckers there for the kids. And, but they're there shopping, but I have an opportunity with so many moms and pregnant moms that are coming through there to buy their infant stuff. And it's an opportunity, but I don't know how to catch them, for one, when they're going through, and approach all the people there. So I'm sure that's something that everybody probably could benefit from. But I know my daughter already signed us up for it. It's coming up not till February, but I want to really plan that it's an opportunity to possibly get a lot of recruits, but it's got to be done quick. And what do we do?
Okay.
So, ideas.
That's a good question. Anybody have any ideas while Jean was talking of what she might?
Well, I was thinking while she was telling us what she's going to do. It's not like a fun idea, but what she could do is probably get those What's New bags and put some literature in there right away. So when they're running by and they don't want to really stop, so take one of these with you, and she could put on there something like join my team. You'll be entered to a basket. Give me a call. We'll register on my website. Something like that, and put some candy in it, and maybe like 2 sheets of paper about the Avon opportunity, and also about doing a fundraiser, and the fundraising can be done for your own personal family.
I will tell you, Nicole, I appreciate your feedback there, but I did do that too. I didn't add that in there. It's little bags that I have. These ones were colored poke bags, blue and yellow and pink and whatever. And I did do, I think somebody called them like a bombito bag or something, where you throw your sample in there, recruiting information, a business card, cover. And I'd also say, here, I have a sample for you, and hand it, trying to get that in their hands too, at least when they're flying by. Did not have any repeat success, because a lot of it too is, like you say, us being able to follow up with them. So that's where I have the drawing, and a lot of them would no thank you, and some of them yes. But so, and like you say, approaching the people at the table that are the moms that are selling the stuff, because they're there to make money, so they want to make money. But yeah, definitely that you're right on target with. I will keep doing that too.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Nicole, for sharing. Does anybody else have any ideas?
This is Patty. The only other thing I can think of that she might want to consider is if she's able to have maybe a video playing on a PC on her table that people might catch while they're standing around at other tables about the boss life. That would be the only other thing, if somebody saw that flashy one, that different ones. But then you've got to be by electrical.
Well,
I even one year went out and got one of those diaper things that they make up for the little infants. It's made like into some little animal or something. They're made of little throwaway diapers, And I put that on the table before for people to get into the drawing, thinking it's geared towards, all the young moms with the diapers. And
yeah, that's cute. Well, so I love everybody's ideas, and I think all of them are great ways to do it. I think if you really want to get to each person that's working at the table, I think you have to, really just make that a priority and go around in the beginning and have your little goodie bags and say, hey, I just want to introduce myself. This is who I am. I have one of our newest lip glosses or lipsticks in this goodie bag for you, along with some really great information. And because I know those events are super busy, so it's not like you could introduce yourself. Maybe you'd have the option and say, oh my gosh, I love everything you have out here, and try to start up a deeper conversation. Because you're pretty fast paced, right?
Right. It's very, very fast paced. I couldn't believe it when they said about 1,000 come through there, because they do. And they had them like going both ways in the aisles, and, especially at the very beginning when everybody's there because they want to get those big items that they have a whole designated area for your cribs, all that sort of stuff. So, but you know what? That's good. Like you say before, when I'm setting up, either the night before, if I see some people, because it's going to be a little slower pace, or even the day of, and say, you know, by the way, I'm here with a table, or I could even say with my daughter and grandson, and I wanted to give this sample to you regarding and some information about Avon, so because you're not going to have time to talk.
Yeah, if you're prepared. Oh, go ahead.
This is Karen. What's on your table when I walk by? What do I see? Do I have to come up to your table to see, or is there something there that makes me curious to want to peep at your table?
That's a good idea to have something that's going to really draw their attention to it.
Yeah, because if you can get...
Maybe that's one of those wheels, maybe a fun wheel that they could spin. But anyhow, no, sometimes I've tried it different ways through the years for this place. Okay. Sometimes it might have several products that I put out there, sometimes the display and more of the recruiting information and material. But yeah, something that you want to draw them in.
So if you get, this is Karen again, just a suggestion. When I used to go out with the person who was one of my uplines long ago, what she used to do, because she would have everything all set up for when we came. So what she used to do is get these bright colored bags that the little tote bags are not big, and she would put a weight in it, and then she would have like a balloon sticking out, but the bags would be like neon pink or neon green. And then she would have recruiting stuff on the table, because us as representatives would talk to the people as they come. So the draw would be that she would have some samples, and a lot of times there were samples of stuff that we didn't sell anymore, but she would have free items, and then to get the people over there, and then you could maybe get to talk to them for however long they're there too, and then you can give them the bag that you said that you try to give out, and maybe by drawing them in with their curiosity of the bright colors might help. Just a suggestion.
That's a good idea.
Also, maybe, this is Debbie, if it's really busy, maybe you could take the few minutes when you're setting up, go around and just drop something on everyone's table towards the back of their table.
Yeah, so it's that's what we were saying. Because we set up the night before, is we could actually go in the night before and set up. And some people come the morning up. Yeah, get there and just start walking around in the morning before it starts.
Yeah, or lay something in everybody's chair.
So, and if you do that, something I always like to do at my meetings or my events like that was I tried to become the most popular person in the room. And what I mean by that is when I did walk around, just have that exuberant excitement. Hi, how are you? There's a lot of people at these events that are quiet. Maybe they're to themselves. And if you're that person that they're comfortable around because the night while you were setting up, you were friendly and saying, oh my gosh, I brought something for everybody. How are you today? Your table looks great. And just really being that friendly, outgoing person. People respond to that. Well, most people. Well, and they want to be around you, and then they might look at you in a different light and go, wow, Avon is really awesome. She's really just a cool person, and I feel comfortable with her.
Good. Well, thanks for all the feedback, because I wanted to really plan, because I think this is a great opportunity to target people.
Sure.
And you just hate to miss that opportunity too.
Yes. And then I wanted to talk about running regular Avon opportunity meetings. This is something that corporate Avon, new Avon, has been working on with us. Our region has been running them every month, every 2 weeks actually. I don't know if they sent you guys the link. I'm hoping they did. And it's our regional is doing an opportunity meeting online. So you can actually send that out to your friends and family, and you can send it out to your team and say, hey, jump on. Our regional Mike is doing an opportunity meeting right now, and you just have to sit there. It's like 17 minutes. They sit there and they learn about Avon and all the cool stuff we do. And opportunity meetings are a big deal. That's how some companies make it big. They encourage their teams to pull together new people every week, and they invite them into a big room and share all the cool stuff about their company. So I'm thinking about opportunity meetings. And has anybody ever done one in the past with maybe with their previous manager or previous upline?
Yeah, when we used to have the training center, we did them frequently.
Did you?
Yes.
Yes. I still wish we had that training center.
Yeah.
Big time. That was a good spot to be able to do that. I'd be using that all the time.
I didn't hear you. She said, where now? I'm sorry, I didn't hear that part.
What?
We used to have a training center on Washtenaw right in the edge of Ann Arbor and Ypsi.
Oh, okay.
Right down from Kmart. We had a storefront, which was, but it was a training center.
Yep. And then,
okay.
Yeah, there used to be one in Southfield too, and then one in Detroit.
Yeah, we sure did. I have been to, I have met, I've sent out like emails to different ones that was in my phone that said, meet me at McDonald's from 2 to 4.
Yes.
I'll be there passing out free goodie bags with Avon products in it. And let's talk about joining my team. I have done that twice. I think I did that like twice last year.
How did it go? Do you think it was?
The first one, we invited, I had like 5 people RSVP, but only 1 showed up. So
better than 0.
And then I did it again because last summer it was extremely hot. And I figured if I get some people out here, I can buy everybody some ice cream. And we met at the McDonald's, and then the second time, only 2 people showed up. But I think if I would have did it, because, kept doing it like every week, just sitting there with my computer and my materials or whatever, I think I probably would have stuck with it, but I didn't stick with it. I really should have.
I think consistency can be the key in a lot of things, but hey, maybe you should start that again. That sounds great.
Yeah,
so the first time you had 1, second time you had 2, and hey, and I liked your ice cream idea. Not this time of year, but
right.
People will come for free ice cream, and you can get it at McDonald's for $1.
Yeah, and that's it. That's a good bargain.
And it's good. Okay. So now let's look at identifying a potential leader on your team that you already have. So let's look at the grid. So this is the motivation side right here. Low motivation all the way up to highly motivated. And then on the bottom part, it's sales success. So do they have lower sales, or are they in your higher bracket? So that's how you guys can kind of figure out who your potential leaders could be, is really by looking at that person individually and then rating them on each side, motivation level and sales success level. Also, so motivation, think about people on your team. Challenge you to think about it right now. People within your team who believe in Avon, you know that about them. People who want to grow their team. Someone who's driven. Someone you know that's coachable, that will listen to your ideas and hear you out. Someone who already maybe participates in different things. That might mean that they're motivated. Somebody who has a positive outlook, or thinks of or also likes to participate and be positive. And then maybe somebody who noticed that likes to help others. Maybe they're not leadership, but you've noticed that they're motivated and want to help other Avon representatives. And then when it comes to the sales success part, who have you seen grow their sales? Who have you seen consistently sell and keep that sale, putting their orders in every campaign? Who pays for their orders on time? That's a good one. And has many customers already, and maybe somebody who uses the tools that we already have in place. So those are some key things that you can look for when it comes to motivation and sales success. Does anybody pop in your head as you're seeing those things? Any leader on your team or person on your team that you're like, well, I know that she's motivated. Anybody?
I do know one on my team that's motivated and her sales are pretty good, but she's not interested in leadership.
Okay. And that's okay. Not everybody's interested in leadership.
Mm.
But then it makes me wonder, what does leadership mean to her? You know, does she think it's going to be an extra 20 hours a week trying to help people? Because ultimately,
I'm waiting on a call back from her because I want to talk. I was going to talk to her in regards to that. I know when I approached her some time ago, she said, "Oh no, I'm comfortable with just doing the sales. I don't want to be bothered with anything extra." But that was a while ago.
so maybe a good question is, so, what does leadership mean to you? And when she'll go, well, I don't know, it seems to be like a big thing. And then you could say, well, what does $500 mean to you?
Mm-hmm.
Because when you become a bronze ambassador, you get $500. And to her, she might go, well, maybe it is just $500. Maybe I could find 3 or 4 people just so I can hit that level. Even if she hits that level, she might get motivated. So what other characteristics might you think would make a good leader? I mean, just off the top of your head. I know we just read a lot off, but maybe something else popped in your mind.
A mentor.
Somebody that's a mentor, maybe has a personality to mentor others. Yeah. I think somebody who participates in positive. I also think sometimes it can be somebody, you got to look at how they present themselves, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody walked up to me and wanted me to join Avon, are you okay, Nicole?
Oh yes, I'm fine.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I didn't know if you froze or if you were okay.
Oh, no,
Just watching out for you.
thank you.
So, just recognizing and being able to recognize some of those qualities in people is very important. So that's what that little chart is for you to see if they're motivated enough, if you think that their sales are, because you have to have $200 on average in order to be a successful leader. So you got to look at that too. And then other things you have to consider is planning your Avon time. Avon time is the time you dedicate to your business, obviously. And I know all of you juggle a lot of things. You juggle family time, work time, social time, time with your spouse or significant other. A lot of you are part of other groups. I mean, I know Karen's got like 10 irons in the fire. She is like busy bee of the year. But I know all of you have different things that are important to you. So, how many of you do work full time? I'm pretty sure it's.
Yeah, I do.
This is Patty. I do.
Eddie works full time.
Karen does too.
Debbie works full time.
Yes, I do. Yep.
Karen, you work full time.
Oh yeah.
I know Jean's retired. Give her the eyebrow lift because that's cool. And then Nicole, you do your Avon business full time, right?
Yes, I do. Mm-hmm.
And Avon and Nicole keeps very busy during the week with her Avon business too. Different senior centers that she's at. You have different local places that let you set up with your what do you call it? A pop up?
Yeah, pop-up shop. Yeah, I have one location. I do it 3 days a week.
Yep. So, and I know Jean stays busy with your different weekend events and all the cool shows that you do. So, so those are things you have to consider, if you're working full time, and if you're working part time, or maybe you feel like you could put a little more time in to your Avon, based on everything that we're going to talk about. So, let's see. It's really important to plan that time in. And when you're planning that time in, really focusing when you're in that Avon time and making sure that you're making that time effective. So each of you put goals into place last module that we did, and all of your goals were very, time bound, and they were all very attainable. So now just making sure that you're putting the right time into reaching that goal. Okay, so let's talk about how you can determine the best balance in your time. Look at these activities and examples under each. We have right here planning, selling, managing, and leading. These are 4 of the important things that you need to have a balanced business. So planning, selling, and managing is really all about your personal business. And then for your team, that's where leading comes into place. Okay? So we recommend that you spend 50 to 75% time on your personal business, and then focusing 25 to 50% of your time leading your team. It's really sometimes hard to balance the two, but I think when you start to determine it on your own, it's on part of your homework, just kind of writing down what percentage of time you want to put where in your business. So some of you may have a smaller team, so you will spend maybe more 75% of your time on your business, and then the other 25% on your team, and helping lead your team. But some of you have a larger team. I know some of you have, 50 to 60 people on your team, so you may spend a higher percent of your time leading them because it is a larger percent. But once you determine how you balance your time between your personal business and leading your team, you'll need to consider how much time for selling you spend on selling the product versus the opportunity, because there is a difference. And we encourage you to divide your selling time equally between selling the opportunity, which is recruiting, and selling the products. This will enable you to grow your team and your product sales all at the same time. So now how do we do that, right? How do we balance everything with all of the extra things we have in our lives, our families, and everything? I'm not going to say it's simple, but I think when we break it down and we organize and we put it on paper, it makes it feel a little more stress-free, I'd say. So once you understand how you should balance your activities, it's important to actually plan what you're going to do. So writing down all your planned activities in order to prioritize them, you need to reflect your activities and break them down into tasks. So really what this means is you may have an activity that you are going to participate in. So maybe it's going to be, I'm going to participate at the Ford Holiday Toys for Tots fundraiser. And that would be an activity, right? And that activity would benefit your selling piece. It would benefit your opportunity selling as well. But once you decide that you're going to have that activity on your calendar, then you need to put it into task mode. Okay? So you have to think about, all right, I have to get the sheet, the sign-up sheet back to the event coordinator, let her know that I want to do it. That's one of my tasks. I have to figure out what I want to have on my table to potentially sell. That would be a task. I need to figure out what I'm going to have there so I can recruit effectively. So that would be another task. And just really breaking it down. I need to figure out what I'm going to wear, because I know I want to look nice for the event. So I want to find out, figure out what shoes I'm going to wear so I know I'm comfortable. So just making sure that you're able to break your activities down into tasks. That makes sense, guys? I think so.
Yes.
All right, so in order to manage your time most effectively, it's important to prioritize your tasks and schedule them into your calendar. So once you're breaking down your activities down to tasks, then we need to figure out where does it need to fit into your calendar. The image to the right is a prioritization chart. And it's really a framework that will allow each of us to consider tasks based on importance and urgency. Okay, so you can see here on the left side, we're looking at less important and important. And at the top, not urgent or urgent. So Avon kind of breaks it down for us on this chart. And you will have access to this chart to fill out your homework. I emailed this to you in the leadership, what's that called? It's the second piece that I emailed to you today. But so you'll have access to it. Urgency at the top here is defined based on what is occurring within a campaign. Is it urgent? And tasks that are beyond this campaign and have a longer runway, which could be considered not urgent. Okay, so urgent would be for the most current campaign. Something past, so like let's say campaign 1, I wouldn't call that urgent at the moment. Okay, but 25 and 26 are more of your sense of urgency. Mm-hmm. Tasks are bucketed into specific corners and an action taken against each task. So, I've got to move our picture so I can read this. Examples that would be considered important but not urgent. Attend networking and recruiting events. Plan team meeting focused on duplication. Hold coaching conversations with my downline. So this is something you'll want to schedule for the future. Identify a convenient time in the future that you complete these tasks. So they're really important, but they're not urgent right now. Okay, so then we want to look at the less important and the not urgent. All right, sending a team newsletter. You know, is that really going to make sure your business runs better? So Avon's saying, you know, that's something that you can do, but right now it's not urgent and it's less important. You have other things to focus on. Train your downline on products. You know, that's something that New Avon's trying to do for you. We have a sales meeting. We have the campaign, what's it called? I forgot the name of it, with Michael, where he goes on for like 10 minutes or so and they talk about the new products. New Avon is trying to make that product training better. We have Aspira product training all the time. Has anybody had a chance to go on that yet?
Not yet.
All right. Well, it's really good. Actually, we found out last training, which was last week, it's always at nighttime. You guys get double dollars in campaign 1 when you order the Aspira out of the What's New 3. And the What's New 3 has all of the Aspira products in it. So it has like a weight loss product. It has everything. So anyway, there's another training next week in the evening. So make sure to look at youravon.com and look at the upcoming trainings. Aspira is something you want to get on board with because it could increase your sales definitely for 2018.
Hey.
Yeah.
Do you know if they're going to put, because I looked for the re-recording since I knew I had missed it. Do you know if they're going to post it? At least it wasn't posted this weekend.
They should. It should be posted.
Well, maybe today.
Say that again?
It's on Jill's page.
Do you know Jill Lazat, Karen?
No.
Well, actually, I'm in there for the district.
Oh, are you on the Avon district?
Yeah.
I don't know what she's saying.
Jean, are
What
you
did she
asking
say?
her if she's on the Avon Detroit page?
Right.
Okay.
I'm on the Avon page. I don't know if it's Detroit. I
I'll
think
I think it's called Detroit Avon or something like that. She put out a page, become her friend. And what Jill is doing is she kind of stepped in where we lost managers, and she's communicating a lot of information to everybody on a regular basis, keeping us in the loop.
okay.
Yeah.
So I
And
think
even
it's called
if you
Detroit
don't-
Area Avon Representatives or something like that.
Okay.
You're right. I'm writing it in here right now too.
Oh.
That's a great page to be a part of, Karen, for sure.
I think I'm a page of some Avon something, but I don't remember it being called Avon Detroit.
Well,
Yeah, Detroit Area Avon Representatives.
Okay, I'll check it out.
okay, awesome. All right, and then let's look at urgent. So this would be for this campaign or the campaign that's almost here. Examples would need, this is important and urgent. Sales calls to key customers. So you can get more sales. Coach,
That's why I was late on the call.
what?
That's why I was late coming to this call.
Oh, good for you. Perfect. Coach leaders with titles at risk. So that's if you have somebody on your team that just hasn't been reaching her minimums to keep her title. Follow up with no orders. People that are on your team that haven't placed an order, follow up with them, see how they're doing. It's not bothering them, it's supporting them. And if you do it the right way, that's how they'll feel. They'll feel supported. So in this category, it's what you need to focus on and complete these tasks yourself. Be sure to prioritize them higher than your other tasks. So the cluster is urgent but less important. Responding to a customer complaint. This is where you could kind of place and deliver orders, answer questions from your downline. You could cluster these all together and say, on Thursday nights from 7 to 8, that is when I follow up with, or you could have 2 nights a week, whatever it is. What? Who's laughing?
I think somebody's
Somebody's tired. Yeah, Nicole is tired.
Nicole?
I got a question. What was that Facebook that you said, Avon Detroit? What was it called?
Detroit Avon Detroit
Area.
Representatives. Detroit area.
All together?
Avon.
It's just separated, and you put it in your search bar. Detroit area
Oh.
Avon Representatives.
Oh, okay.
Did you find it?
No, not yet.
Okay.
But it's on Facebook, right? Facebook. Okay.
Okay. So looking at the to-do list on the left side here, these are different things that some of you think about doing. Plan a fundraiser. Where do you think plan a fundraiser could go? Which box?
Probably at the top there under not urgent.
But important?
Yeah.
Exactly. That's something you can schedule into your calendar, right? How about plan for the upcoming quarter by using your leadership planning calculator that we learned about last week? Where would that go?
Well, you have a little bit more time because it's quarter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Important, but not, so urgent, I guess I want to say. Is
perfect.
that where we were just? Yeah.
Yep, that's exactly right, Jean. What about reorganize my files?
Oh, yeah.
Follow up on no orders.
I skipped that one. Okay, where would you put follow up on no orders? What?
Right here.
I would say urgent, important. This is Patty.
Yep. What about reorganizing your files in your office?
That's that.
That's important, not urgent.
Right. Just let them stay messy.
cold winter nights, right? Yeah.
What about answer a representative's question? Where do you think that should fall? Everybody's different, so.
Mine would go under the urgent category, focus.
Yep. Okay. Mine would too, personally. They tell us to kind of cluster some things. But to me, you can pretty much answer a rep's question pretty quickly, I think. I know some of us are at work all day, but even if you answer it through text message or Facebook Messenger, at least so they know that you care and that you're like trying to be on it, or at least saying, hey, I can call you as soon as I get home tonight. And if that's not soon enough, call Avon if you feel like you really need to know, because I happen to be at work. But as long as you know you're taking care of it and letting them know that you want to help them. Okay, so let's keep moving because it's 7:30 and I have an 8 o'clock. You guys, I'm so excited tonight. I have it's like a leadership opportunity meeting for representatives, new representatives, to get them excited about and show them what leadership can mean to their business, how much more money they can make. And then I also put a piece in there on if they want to try leadership, how do they start? How do they talk to people? What is their first step? So I'm doing that with one of our team members from the last coaching call because she's struggling finding people to join leadership on her team. So we thought, okay, let's put our minds together and figure something out. So we're doing that at 8 o'clock. Yeah, it's a go-to meeting. She has, I think it was 12 people that said they're going to come.
That's great.
And it's 30 minutes. That's it. It's fast, furious, and fun. Okay.
Now, you're going to actually be on a video call, or you're going to this?
I'm going to be on the video call.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Good.
Yep. All right. So in order to manage your time most effectively, it's important to prioritize your tasks to schedule them in your calendar. Oops. I'm just flying through. Okay, so let's consider these additional things for yourself to be set for success. So continue to focus more on your urgent tasks. Setting appropriate expectations when out of the office. Ask, what can we do to ensure that those people feel like you're engaged? We kind of just talked about this. Making sure that you're setting up your success by making sure that your team knows that you really care about them, that they are important to you. But has anybody ever felt like Avon just never stops? It's all the time, morning, noon, and night. Sometimes, I don't know, do you have people text you in the middle of the night? Or
you know what? I know that I don't work a full-time job like the other girls do, so I have a little bit more flexibility. But I find even with myself, I would literally have to tell Ken, I have actually been getting out of the shower before he answers the cordless phone and said, here just a minute. And he goes, Jean, it's somebody for regarding Avon. And it's like, can you take a message? Call them back. And even you find when you're sitting and eating your dinner, it's like you have to tell yourself, now, wait a minute. I'm not going to be answering a phone call. I'm not going to be on the Avon clock for this period of time because your business is your life. You're just answering the phone all the time.
yes.
Sure, for the other girls coming home from work and wanting to unwind, that I know because I was there too. It's difficult because they have such a small window there that.
Exactly.
So yes, I answer your question.
So it is important to set the appropriate expectations when you are not available. And it's okay, as long as you set them and people know, and when maybe if somebody does call at that time, just let it go to voicemail, see how urgent it is, and then think about your little chart. Is this urgent? Can I wait to give her a call back tomorrow? And then, so make sure you're establishing those hours with your leaders. And when you're talking to them, say, oh, well, no problem. I work full time. I'm able to talk to you on Saturdays. Also, send me a text during work. And I know I'll be able to get back to you, on my way home. Just set some guidelines for them because, my last group, and you guys might feel the same way, some of them were just so discouraged because they felt like all they were doing was answering calls and texts and emails and Facebook messages all hours of the night, day, time, so it's okay to have those guidelines and appropriate expectations. So, all right, and then think about when you're putting your time down that you're working, what works best for you? How are you going to be able to actually focus and put your best foot forward when you're doing your Avon business? Maybe for you, it's like getting out of the house. So I know somebody who she would get done with work and she would go right to Panera Bread, put in her earphones, do whatever it is she needed to do with Avon. She'd even eat dinner because she knew the minute she walked in the door, there was no time for, her Avon business. Or maybe, it's to just sneak away and go into your bedroom at night or whatever. But make sure that you're finding that spot to dedicate. And make sure it's a routine and that you're consistent about it. So plan to take action. In your homework, there's a 2-week calendar. So I want you to put in things that you're already doing, your big rocks, right? The rocks that are important to you. Let's say, to me, family. Other events that you're already a part of, like Karen, I know you have your, what's that group you do on Wednesdays? What?
Nicole is the one that has events. I don't have events.
Oh, well, okay. You have commitments. How about commitments?
Yeah, and I need to get out of some of them. Yeah, I do.
You do a lot of things. So, put those things on this 2-week calendar. I want to see, what it is that you're doing. And then you need to really be serious and go, okay, where am I going to put this time that I'm scheduling my Avon in? Is it going to be, let's say for Patty, maybe hers is from 7 to 8 p.m. 2 nights a week. And then on the weekend, it's this or that. Maybe for Jean, it's different because Jean likes to do hers in the morning when she's, after she has her coffee. But, making it specific. And then make sure that you're asking yourself, does my calendar reflect the right balance of activities and tasks to achieve? Am I planning to be busy or productive? Productive's better than just being busy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Can I delegate any of these tasks? Because part of our business is stamping our books or putting our labels on our books. Put that on your calendar, and maybe that is something you could delegate to a niece, a nephew, a daughter, a husband, a new team member who wants to learn how to do it, whatever. But think about what you can delegate. Did I mark time for handling a cluster of tasks that are urgent but not important? So to me, a cluster would be, I have to call these 2 representatives back. I have to, I don't know what else it could be. But for me, that's what it used to be. I knew I had to call all the inactives on my team, the people that really weren't placing orders and I didn't want them to fall off. So you can cluster that together and do it all at one time. Am I setting Yes?
This is Patty. What I've been doing is sending the emails out. Like if I see a no order or late, no payment or something. And that seems to a lot of times help because you can just do that. And then you can make a call if you see that they haven't responded.
Okay. All right. Do you use the cards then?
Yes.
Perfect. I'm a fan of emails, but I'm also a fan of, reaching out verbally in different ways too, because I don't know about you guys, but I have 19,000 emails in my personal email.
Mhm.
And I literally go through and go, okay, that's important, that's not. And I open it or I don't open it based on if it's important to me. So I love emails because to me, I know what's important. If I'm getting an Avon email, I'm reading it. But not all of our Avon representatives will.
Right.
They'll say, well, I've got to actually read, what's going on at my job or at school. So love emails, but I also think a second form of communication could go on the calendar too. Okay. Now that we've covered the seminar content, is there any thoughts or questions? Do you feel like it's something you can grasp and put your head around? Everybody?
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to work on your plan. It's your outreach plan. And I sent you the homework today. Did everybody get my email? I should have sent it last week.
Yes.
Okay, good. Now, recommendation is that you pull it up in the email on your computer and you type your answers into it. And then you save the document to your computer and then email it back to me. And if you can't do that, then the other way is to handwrite it and then, send me pictures. Okay, so the first page, you need to write down potential team members who might be interested in joining Avon, so people on your team. Okay. Second area, which is right here where my arrow is, team growth activities. What will you do to find new team members? So write down some activities that you think that you can do. And there's all different types of activities. And there's some examples right on the homework for you to look at to give you more ideas. The bottom part, potential leaders. I don't know where my arrow went, right here. Who do you think are good leadership candidates? What is their motivation? What is their skill? What is their sales? And, write down. Don't not write somebody down because you don't think they're interested in leadership. Just think about your team members and go, okay, she's motivated. She's positive. She's got great sales. I'm just going to write her down. She's a potential. But don't try to, assume that she doesn't want to do leadership. So just write her name down. Second page is reflect on your goals for the upcoming campaigns. I want you to write down in this top corner in orange over here, my weekly Avon time commitment. What you're doing now. How many hours have you committed to your Avon business? And include your sales part of the business and your leadership part. So maybe it's 20 hours for one, maybe it's 10 hours for another, maybe it's 30 hours for somebody else. Here's where you need to balance out your activities. Okay? Your time that you're spending now percentage-wise, planning, selling products, selling the opportunity, managing, and leading. So I want you to break that down, and it needs to equal 100%. Where do you see yourself right now or what you've been doing? Then I want to see your percentages in the future. Where do you want to see your percentages go in the future to reach your goal that you want to reach? All right, and then here's the little urgent and important chart to help you, because on the next one, you get to fill out your own things that you're already doing on your calendar, and then put them into whichever box you think that they need to be in. And then there's a couple questions. There's 4 different questions that you need to fill out right here.
Mm-hmm.
And then fill out the rest of, obviously, at page 3. The last page is your 2-week calendar. That's where you just need to put in things that you're doing currently, personal, whatever. And then, when you're going to put in Avon into your calendar. Okay? All right. And then we have our collaboration call next Thursday night. Of course, I'll send a reminder. One of the questions that we'll talk about is sharing an experience in your past when you got lost. Okay, I skipped this on the first one my first class that I did. But then I realized why this question was important. So, you know, I just think of some time when you got lost. I know we've all gotten lost and how it made us feel or how it made us laugh or how it made us scared or upset. So, and then explain how it made you feel and how you overcame it. So keep that in mind. I'll put it on our Facebook group too to remind you guys. And then a little quote, a goal without a plan is just a wish. And I like this one. If you talk about it, it's a dream. If you envision it, it's possible. But if you schedule it, it's real.
True.
Isn't that good? I like that one.
Mhm.
That's good.
Yeah, and then happy Thanksgiving if we don't talk before then. Definitely. Hope you all have family plans and hope you all got some time off of work to spend the holidays with the most important people.
Thank you.
So happy
Thank
Thanksgiving.
Thanks, you too.
Yes, thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you so much.
Oh, hey, before everybody leaves, I did put the link to the Aspire training into a comment over on the side.
Oh, awesome. Thank you.
Oh, and that's on the Facebook page. But you should be able to get to it because it's the link for the training. So that's actually
Just
two.
to copy it.
That was one that you're across.
And 27. Can you do 12 instead?
Thanks, Debbie.
You're welcome.
Okay, so Karen Green, you and I are meeting Wednesday night at 8:15, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yay. Jean Miller.
Yes, that'll be fine, noon.
Okay, thank you, because I have a dentist appointment. And I didn't realize it until today when I was putting this together. Okay, so we'll switch that to noon if that's cool with you. And then Nicole, when do you want to reschedule? Sometime next week. Here's when I'm available next week. So let me know which one works for you, if any at all.
Okay. On the 28th, let's do 11:15.
Okay, let me write that down. Where do I write it? Okay, 28th, 11:15, Nicole. So we'll go over your homework that day, okay, Nicole, from this
That's good.
seminar.
Okay.
Okay.
Those papers you had on the screen, those papers?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
I just emailed them to you today. What about you, Patty? Does any of these work for you?
Yeah, Monday we might be traveling back from up north, so it would probably be better if we did Tuesday.
Okay.
And what time did you assign to Nicole?
She did 11:15.
Yep.
Okay, do you want to do 10 then?
Sure. Do you think he'll be home? Like,
Oh, yeah, we'll be home. We'll be home. Mm-hmm.
all right. Yep. That's perfect for me.
Okay.
And then Debbie Sheets, we're still planning 11 a.m. on Thursday, the day of the collaboration call, correct? Which is next
Yes.
Thursday.
Yes.
All right. And then I will get with Audrey and see what will work for her.
Great.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks for, switching our calls around because of the holiday.
No problem.
Appreciate
That's
it.
fine.
You're welcome.
And it's always such a joy to talk to all of you, and I hope you enjoyed the seminar tonight. Oops.
It was good, yes.
Yes, it was real good.
All right, good. Well, thanks again, and everybody have an awesome night and an awesome week.
Thanks, you too.
Take care.
You too. A nice night and great thanks.
Oh,
You too.
thank you.
Thanks, you too.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.